Morning, everybody. How you doing? It is a little after 8 in the morning. I'm the only one up. Everybody else is pretty well sacked out from a rough weekend, I guess. I'm heading out to the shed to get my floor jack, and then we're going to rotate the tires on both of the cars. Got to get that done. You know, make sure we get the max life out of them. So that's the way I'm going to start my day, and I'll keep you posted on what else goes on during the day. That was quite a job. I did not use my air ratchet. I went ahead and used a standard ratchet. I did not use the lug wrench that comes with the vehicle. I've got a 2-ton floor jack, and I use that for raising the vehicle. And then I use my standard ratchet, hand ratchet, for breaking the lugs loose and rotating the tires. Reason why is I wanted to do a quick video on how I did it, and I'll post that as well when I get a few minutes. One of the things I pointed out in the video, two things I pointed out in the video, is with radial tires, you generally take, if your car is a rear-wheel drive, the rear driver's side will go to the front driver's side. The front driver's side will alternate over to the rear passenger side. That tire goes to the front, and then that tire comes to the back. So the non-drive tires crisscross, whereas the drive tires just go straight to the non-drive axle. This is a front-wheel drive, so I have to do it in reverse. So you start at the front, you bring that wheel to the back, and then the back wheel goes to the opposite corner of the front, which comes straight back, and then that wheel goes to the opposite corner of the other side. That sounds confusing, but if you look up radial tire rotation on the internet, just Google it, you'll see what I'm talking about. The other thing I pointed out is while you've got the wheels or the tires off the vehicle, roll them around and check the threads for any type of unusual wear, any type of foreign object, nails, screws, whatever, and just keep a close eye on that, because if you have anything like that, you really don't want to put it back on the car. You want to get it fixed. Okay, I'm ready to swap her car out into the driveway, my car into the garage, and do the same thing. Okay, let's talk about rotating the tires on the Challenger. This was and still is a challenge. This car does not come with a spare tire, so I thought no problem. It's Chrysler bolt pattern. I'll just borrow the 5-lug spare tire from my wife's Journey, jack the rear end up, put that on, rotate the tires, take it off, and I'll be good to go. Okay, not a problem. Pull out my floor jack. There's not a good place under the body to use my 2-ton floor jack. No problem. My wife's got a Chrysler vehicle. I'll just get her jack and I'll use it. It doesn't really work with this car. What I found was, I've been researching for a while. You jack up based on the pinch welds. Her jack has kind of a flat top to it. It has a little bit of an indentation in it, but it's not going to fit that pinch weld real well. It'll set in the pinch weld, and the pinch weld will set in the middle of it, but it's against the body panel, which could cause damage. Don't want to do that. I found these things, I think it's called ZL1 add-ons, something like that. They were like 79, 89 bucks, and basically it's got a couple neodymium magnets. You slide it up on the pinch rail. It's real thin, so it fits. It's made out of aircraft aluminum, snaps on there, and then it has a flat round pad at the bottom that your jack goes on. You can jack your vehicle up safely. That's what most people are using who have the Challenger. So I was going to go online and buy one. I hop on eBay. I end up finding one. It's got the same exact specs. It's a knockoff brand. It was 13 bucks, I think, including shipping. It'll be here probably Thursday, and it's the same thing. It's the same thickness, made of aircraft aluminum. Everything about it said the same as the other one. It's just a knockoff. So I bought it, and I'm going to basically, I loosened up all of the lugs on this car. I'm going to go back, and snug them all back up. And we're just going to wait next weekend when I have this new tool. We'll go ahead and try it out and get everything rotated, all the wheels all rotated on this vehicle. Looks like we have a little visitor. Made a nice little nest right in our flower bed. She's being really still so I don't see her. She thinks she's camouflaged. So I'm going to go ahead and move on because I don't want to disturb her. I've been busy today. I'm having a good time. Let me show you what I got. These are my chaos blanks. Originally, I was able to get 21 blanks. Over here you can see these are some of the cutoffs that I was going to glue together to try to make a few more. There are 3 blanks that literally split as I was drilling them. And I think a lot of it had to do with the way the woods were aligned. For example, I had one that was red heart. I always have a lot of trouble with red heart splitting out, especially if the drill bit is hot. Well, it was down toward the bottom of the blank. I hit the red heart and it split. I had a couple that were at an angle that were right together and they split. I may be able to put some glue in the crack, clamp it down, and then just re-ream the hole out and fix those. I'll try that later. But what I'm going to do, I pulled these 3 out, and as I held them up to my light back there, you can see my light right there, I would hold them up to the light. I was looking for any gaps between them. And these had little gaps, but they were on the outside edges, so I think they may turn away. I'm going to turn these 3 just to kind of show as part of the video. I'm not actually going to turn them on video, but I'm going to show them in the video as turned. The other 15, I mentioned the other night, I got a special idea for these. I'm going to roll it out eventually, but not today. So I'm going to use epoxy today. I've got some Loctite epoxy, and I got my tubes sanded up, ready to go. I'm going to use I use Titebond 2 to hold all the wood together. I'm going to use epoxy to hold the tubes in. When it's dry, I'll get everything squared up, and I'll think about when I tell you. This is going to be a good one. I think you guys will like what I'm going to do with them. But I just want to make sure everything's done and ready to go before I say anything. So hang tight, and I'll be back in touch. I've got all my blanks glued up with epoxy, and I'm just waiting for them to dry so I can square the ends. I've got the glue ups in progress for my Gisi style blank video. Seems to be going really well so far. These are just about ready to be taken out of the clamps. I'm moving right along on this Gisi style blank video. Won't be long. I don't know that I'll finish it today because there's a lot of glue ups associated with it, but I'm going to give it a good run for its money. My other blanks, my chaos blanks, seem to be doing a really nice job. They're drying up real well. They're still a little bit tacky. I figure it'd be 24 hours before that epoxy is fully dry, so I probably won't do much else with these today, but they're looking really cool. In between working on the blanks, I've been aligning my saw so that I get nice square cuts. I've got my jig up here for cutting 90 and 30 degree pieces. That's going to get used quite heavily for this Gisi style blank. I have taken my sander, I took it apart and cleaned it, and I put a new 120 grit disc on there. You remember a while back I told you I was using a 60, and I thought I saw some of the scratches were making the gaps wide, too wide in my blanks. So I'm hoping this 120, a little finer paper, should give me a little tighter grip. But other than that, I'm just working around the shop. It's going to be a long video today because I've put a lot of stuff in there with the car and the shop. I may have to break it up into two separate videos so it's not so long. Well, I would like to say I'm a little disappointed, but I am a lot disappointed. Let me show you why. I was putting my lathe back together, and there's a Woodruff key inside of here. I put the wrong key. I put this one there. This one's a tiny bit smaller than that one, so the larger key would not fit here. So I went back over here and I pulled out the shorter key, and when I did, I pulled with my needle nose and evidently caught it and literally threw it. I heard it hit over there somewhere, and I heard it rattle down, and I have dug and dug and dug and used magnet on a nice long handle, and I cannot find that Woodruff key. So I've got everything back together. I just need to go in now and order a Woodruff key for here, which is what holds this gear in place, and then I can finish putting this together. I need to draw everything this way a little bit to tighten it up, and then I can set my spacer right there, lock that down, and then there's a spacer on the outside, here it is right here, and I can lock that one down. But in the meantime, I'm kind of jammed up. I can't go any farther, which is irritating me because I was making great progress. I thought I'll get the gears put in, I'll get everything dialed in, then I'll put the back gears in, and I'll at least try to fire it up today. Even though I don't have the side gears in, which the side gears just run the screw along the front, I could run the lathe and you know, just make sure everything is operating smoothly. Man, I'm a little disappointed. So I guess I'll be on eBay tonight ordering a Woodruff key. I've got my Gisi blank glued up. You can see that when I sanded it at a little bit of an angle there, but that won't hurt anything because I'll drill right straight down through the center and that'll all get turned away. I did film this whole thing. The video won't be out until I get a chance to turn this because that is the final step. If I could have done anything differently, it would have been, I should have made the maple 3/16 of an inch so that it matched the thickness of the Paduke. I think that would have made a much nicer looking blank. But other than that, I'm very happy with it. Got one of my Chaos blanks on the lathe. I don't plan to film the turning. I just want to get one of them turned so that I can put it into a pin kit to close that video. Well guys, it's time for me to end a very, very long day. Let me show you. I had a great day though, and let me show you what I've got. The Gisi blank is finished. You can see it's the perfect length for the tube. I need to let it finish curing. The Titebond 2 is not completely dry. Check this out. Chaos blanks ready to go. Each one has been tubed and trimmed. They are ready to go to the lathe. I actually turned one of them, and take a look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I mean, you never know what you're going to get. Each one of these is going to be uniquely different and absolutely gorgeous. So I got a lot of work to do to get the videos ready. There's a ton of footage on both of those. It's going to take a while before I can really get through it. I know that I've got some things coming up this week with the kids, you know, different activities. So I don't know how soon I'll get to that, but I do have footage and there will be videos. So keep your eyes tuned to the channel. And that's it for me tonight. I'm calling it quits. You guys have a great evening and I will see you again very, very soon.